Bonnie Henry's in the news again. That horrible, evil doctor. Dr. Death. And in this video, I'd like to thank you, Jill, for sending me this video, even though it makes me cranky. They show my own block. My old block that I lived on 6 blocks away from here. The only reason why they want drugs in the native neighborhood is so more people die. There's no such thing as safe supply. They're saying, listen, druggies, you never have to have a real job. We're just going to give you drugs and taxpayers are going to pay for you. I wonder how that's going to work out. Anything our government does is pretty fucked. It's pretty racist to show downtown East Side a native neighborhood as a shit show for a reason why you need more drugs. I haven't seen all of this, but I've seen part of it. So let's take a look.
Starters, we're not going to go down a path that separates people from healthcare.
That's Addictions Minister Jennifer Whiteside rejecting the recommendation from BC's public health officer that the government explore the use of compassion clubs or even retail stores to distribute hard drugs. Dr. Bonnie Henry's latest report on BC's Safe Supply program envisions a system where people no longer have to go to a pharmacist to access opioids like hydromorphone. Henry says there are too many barriers that prevent people from accessing safer supply drugs.
There's too many barriers to keep people on hard drugs. We want more people on hard drugs. We have realized that it is a high death. And because it creates so much death, which Europeans don't have to deal with, but we do, we're going to give you guys more drugs. The fact that she shows a native neighborhood, this little racist. Hey, that was a native neighborhood you showed. My old block. There's no cameras there. People get murdered and they're unsolved. Random murders. For God's sakes, haven't you killed enough as a doctor? Oh my God. Children as young as 10 is dying off hard drugs, and you want to put more? You fuckers have absolutely no warnings anywhere down here, except for on cigarettes, that any of this drugs is hard and deadly. The fact that you guys keep lying with the safe supply really pisses me off. And Bonnie Henry, I know where you're going to go when you die. And you deserve it.
And as a result, they turn to toxic and potentially lethal street drugs.
So we have to take evidence from other types of initiatives, for example, related to cannabis use in the past.
Critics say Henry's proposal would make hard drugs.
I could feel the evil coming from her all the way through my cell phone into, my apartment. She is toxic, evil energy.
Drugs like heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine as easy to get as cannabis.
One of the scenarios that they're proposing is that illicit drugs, find their way onto shelves, store shelves, be accessible to people through retailers, which I think is not only irresponsible, but frankly, I think it's dangerous.
Earlier this year, Premier David Eby recriminalized the use of hard drugs in public spaces, putting him at odds with Dr. Henry, who has long advocated for drug decriminalization.
Okay, I'm going to give him a good one, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad that you did that. Why don't you fire Bonnie Henry and put her in jail? Holy crap, she didn't even let the frickin' seniors catch the COVID before she euthanized them. That was a shit show.
Henry's report says an example of a non-prescription model is the now shuttered Opioid Compassion Club operated by the Drug User Liberation Front, or DULF. DULF was shut down in October, and its co-founders were arrested and charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking.
And they should be.
The province's Safe Supply program has come under fire recently, with Sturco and federal conservative leader Pierre Poilievre calling prescription opioids government-supplied addictive drugs. University University of Victoria researcher Bernie Pauly, who contributed to Henry's report, said urgent action is needed to stop people from using toxic street drugs, which are killing an average of 7 people a day.
People are dying now. And if we don't do something, we will be culpable for that in the future.
Dr. Henry seemed prepared on Thursday that the government would not be receptive to her approach to safe supply. She told reporters it's her role to provide the best advice on health issues, regardless of who is in political power.
You are
Katie DeRosa,
evil,
CBC News, Victoria.
Henry.